Hey guys, I hope you're hungry. Welcome back to War Stories here on the Full Legends channel. My name is Jericho. So for today's war story, I want to talk about Pokemon Go. So the last time we talked about Pokemon Go was when everybody in the world was talking about Pokemon Go. In the summer, when it had first come out and was literally the most popular thing on the planet for a few weeks. And one reason why I really wanted to talk about this is it's just sort of a post-mortem, because I remember specifically a conversation I had with Science Sentry, my wife, where I said, like, Pokemon Go is going to be my game of the year this year, because it made me want to go out and exercise. Like, it made me feel like no game ever has. Like, it was like life-changing. But within a month, I could barely be bothered to play it once a day. If you know the game well, you already know a lot of what I'm going to talk about in this video. But basically, I feel that the developers, Niantic, squandered, the biggest opportunity in gaming since, like, original Pokemon. So the one thing that they just did not take the steps to make it fun. They made it grabbing. They made you want to start playing it, but they didn't do anything to make you stick with it. So the one thing that really started to turn me off is the level scaling is ridiculous. So level scaling refers to, like, it'll take you 10 experience points to get from level 1 to level 2, and then 15 to get to level 3, and then maybe 30 to get to level 4, and on from there. That's how every game with a level up structure uses that. If it's the exact same points all the way through, then how would you assign the experience? Like, if your original monster gives you 5 experience points, then that would be equally efficient throughout the entire game. So they scale it so it takes more points to get to higher levels. And like, it just makes sense. It should be harder to get from level 99 to 100 than to get from level 1 to level 2, or indeed from level 39 to level 40. But what Niantic did is made it sickeningly difficult to level up. When I really stopped, so I love Pokemon Go. Like I said, I wanted it to be my game of the year, and I'm more back into it now. I'm going to talk, a little later in the episode about that some of these issues are improving. Certainly not to the point where, I still felt like I needed to make this video or wanted to make this video, but I do think it's made some positive steps. But I stopped at level, like, 23 was when I stopped really seriously playing. Like I would go out, I'm not, in shape, I'm not an active person by any means, nothing like that. Like, as you might assume from, like a stereotypical, guy who plays video games on the internet. But I would wake up and walk 5 kilometers every day to hatch my eggs and get experience to catch Pokemon and all that stuff. And that's part of, like, the early allure of the game that really made it amazing to me. Was that it made me want to do that when I was, out of shape, when I was overweight, when I was not the sort of person that would ever want to go outside, especially in the summer. I sweated, like I was out in the heat just because it was fun to catch Pokemon. But when it took me weeks to get from level 21 to 22, and months to get from 22 to 23, because the experience points are so little. And like what I mentioned is, like, a problem with not changing your level scaling is, like, how will it work with your enemies? Every Pokemon you catch is 100 experience, whether you're level 1 or you're level 40. It doesn't matter if it's your first Rattata or your 50th Rattata, and it doesn't matter if it's a Dragonite or a Pidgey. No matter what Pokemon you get, if you already have it, it's worth 100 points. So the game just takes away your desire to play it. It makes it it's just such a slog. And I can't help but think that it's money grubbing. They want you to spend money on lucky eggs so you can get double experience. They want you to spend money on lures to draw them to you. They want you to spend money on extra incubators so that you can make your steps count, because if you hatch something, you might actually get something new. Because if you're in a smaller town, a smaller area like I am, you're going to see a hell of a lot of Pidgeys, Rattatas, Spearows, the occasional Ekans or Eevee, but nothing cool. No Voltorb, no Sand, like just very little variety of Pokemon. So I wasn't finding a new Pokemon every day. When you play the actual Pokemon games, every day you could go into a new patch of grass you haven't been in before. Or I mean every day. But you know what I mean. Like, you can find new experiences. I've been playing Sun and Moon ever since it came out religiously, and I love it. Like, it's very That's why Pokemon games are my favorite, right? Because they have the most replay value of any game series I've ever encountered. They're the ones that I most want to go back to. I would rather replay, like, that's why I was going to review Last Guardian. That's what this War Story was going to be. But I'm not even going to get Last Guardian yet, because it would be a waste. I barely touched Dishonored 2. I barely touched Skyrim. And I got a bunch of games on Black Friday that I really want to try, but I can't, because all I want to do is play Pokemon Sun. Like, if Pokemon Go had been good, I would have played it. And that's what sucks, is because it was good. It had the capability to be good. Like, it should have been good, but it wasn't. Because they wanted money. They stopped supporting the game in fun ways. It made it a pain to level up, and it really made me feel like they just wanted me to spend money. And I did. You know, I bought, I mean, I don't know, $10 throughout the life of the game maybe, and I don't like that I have to do that. And it's just tough. But all that being said, they have made steps. So the first was the October event. They made all of the spooky Pokemon, the Ghastly Haunter, Gengar, Drowsy Hypno, Cubone and Marowak, Meowth and Persian, I think Ekans and Arbok too maybe. But basically, like, the creepy Pokemon, they made them really, really common because it was Halloween. And they also did what made a really big deal, was you got double candy for everything you did. So, if you're not familiar with Pokemon Go, whenever you capture a Pokemon, you get 3 candy. And then when you send it to you can transfer ones you don't need to the professor. It's basically the same as releasing them in the main series games. Whenever you transfer it, you get 1 candy. But during this event, you got 6 and 2, so your growth was radically faster. Or when you hatch something out of an egg, I hatched a Magnemite out of an egg during that event, and it came with 42 candies, like when it would normally have been 20. So like almost enough to evolve straight off the bat. Like, it made it fun and exciting. Like, you could feel progression and growth, and I was stuck on level 20, 22 or 23 for so long, and I leveled up, like, because I was playing all the time again, and it was fun. And I'm not saying that wasn't another ploy to make money, like the point I've been making throughout this video. I'm sure it was, and I'm sure a lot of people like, oh man, I want to get back into it, I need Pokeballs, I need this, that, and the other. I'm sure that happened. But they made it fun. They made you want to do that. It wasn't like that you felt forced to because that was the only way you could have fun, which is my problem with how they had been treating the game otherwise. This was, hey, there's going to be new Pokemon you haven't seen. Like, I had never gotten a Haunter or a Gengar or Drowsy or Hypno or Marowak. I think like a few Cubone, but basically it was all new Pokemon to me. It was exciting and fun. So that's when I got back into it. And then right after that, they kind of carried you through with the daily events. And the daily events have what have brought me back to someone who does play the game at least a tiny little bit every single day, because I want to catch 1 Pokemon a day. That's not too much to ask. I can usually get them, at least, if not in my house, then at least in my neighborhood. Because of what they've done to make it not fun in the later game, it no longer is enough to make me want to go out and exercise. But at least it's enough for me to play and enjoy the game, because I do want to catch them all, you know? The spirit of Pokemon is alive in Pokemon Go. Like, I do want to enjoy it and have fun with it, and the daily events have helped me want to do that more. So that was really good. That was another step in the right direction. And then, when daily events, I mean, they weren't, like, wearing out their welcome or anything like that, but just to kind of keep the hype going for Thanksgiving, because they're thankful to their players, which is, I mean, of course, you know, I understand. I'm not, you know, naive about this sort of thing, but saying you're thankful, saying thank you for becoming like the fastest growing app in history is nice, is something they should do much more often. So they gave double Stardust, which is basically the currency you use to power up your Pokemon. They gave double Stardust and experience for like the last week of November. So if they can keep up these things, I think that Pokemon Go could have a big future. And there's a lot of talk about how next month, or I guess this month now, because I'm recording this in December, they're going to introduce the next 100 Pokemon from Gold and Silver, which would be awesome. My second favorite Pokemon of all time, or third I should say, Crobat, is from Gold and Silver, so it'll be awesome to catch one of those, or evolve, you know, the Golbat I've had since forever. And they said that they're going to finally add trading and one-on-one battles. Like, it seems like they're going to try to make good on the promises they've made since Pokemon Go has been out. And that's all I want them to do. I want them to realize their potential of being really, like, one of the most amazing mobile games ever made, which is what I think it is, or it could be. You know, Like, look no further than the way the entire world, like Fox News, you know, every WWE, every sphere, you know, big sports, everybody was talking about Pokemon Go. And there's no reason why it should not have stayed such a big deal. So if Niantic can kind of get their heads out of their asses, count the money they already have instead of the more money they can make, and continue to improve on the game and make good on their promises to the players and continue to be thankful and humble, then I think it could still be, or it could continue to be, something really special. So that's basically what I wanted to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, War Stories are every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I think the month of December is going to have a lot of really good ones. My next episode is going to be sort of an overview of what War Stories are going to look like in December. We're going to be doing something a little bit special that I've been working hard for and really looking forward to. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of that, because if you're not up for more War Stories, I have content coming every single day here on the Full Instance channel. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I don't know about you, but